Good evening, SBC. Good evening, SBCC. Good evening, BSL, and good evening to all points in between. And welcome to the June 19th edition of SBC Shoot Your Shot. And I am your host, Mr. Michael Walker. I am also the head chef and sole proprietor and curator of the SBC Museum. So glad to have y'all here. And today is Juneteenth, and this is the first day of it being official, being a federally recognized holiday. So wish you all the best. Hope this day has been a blessed day for you all. Thank you. And of course, this is today's topic for today is only men can be fathers. That's one of the topics we're going to be dealing with today. And, you know, this topic came about, for years. We celebrate Father's Day, and we have some great fathers out there, fantastic fathers out there. And we have some great mothers out there as well. Problem is, though, mothers have they already have their day. Mothers have their day. So when it's time for Father's Day, you know, here comes that notion. I've been a mother and a father and an uncle and this and that. And that's some serious gender swapping, if you ask me, though. So let's just discuss, why is Father's Day being hijacked? So we have our panelists here. We have, first of all, my co-host Josette, and all the way from California. She's here. And she's muted too. Okay. And we also have from Arkansas, Miss Tamara Miles. How you doing, Tamara? She muted herself. You mute. Okay, that's fine. So
okay, I'm fine.
Okay, so before we get started, though, we'll just speak to the people. Good evening. Glad to have everybody here. Hey, Wanda. Hey, Tracy.
Hey, Tracy.
Hey, Bonnie Pettis. Yeah. Hey, Katie Randall. Shay. Glad to have you here. Carla. Oh, they just coming in. Carla, glad to have you here. Teresa, glad to have you here. Stacy, always glad to have you here. Sonolia, glad to. She already started. She is not a father. I hear you. Right. Angela, good evening. She said she's gonna hold her tongue. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Hey, Tia, glad to have you. Tia, glad to have you. That's the general manager, so we gotta act right with her. And yes, and Trey, yes. VL, how you doing?
VL
Potentate, how you doing? And Tiffany, how you doing? Yes. Everybody's coming in. That's great.
It's a lot of people I don't know. How do you see y'all?
And Tiffany. Yeah, Tiffany. We got Andrea Jenkins. Glad to have you here. So let's get started, shall we? Only men can be fathers. And again, not trying to be sexist with this or what have you, though. But why is it, though? It seems that Father's Day gets hijacked. How can what is it? Is there a way a person can be a both mother and a father? And then if that's true for a woman, wouldn't that be true for a man? Co-host, go first.
I mean, we all know the reason why it gets hijacked. You have so many single mothers out there that's playing the role of mother and father, because the father, the dad, the other human that helped create life is not involved in the picture, and that's the reason why, man. And I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people. So I celebrate Father's Day by being quiet. I throw in the flag, let them have their day. But that also came with the process. And, I had to learn, it came with emotional maturity, man, because I used to be one of those people that used to try and hog. I did hog Father's Day. You know what I'm saying? Back, my kids are 26, 17, and 14. And there was that period in the first half of their life where, and all of their life, basically all their life, I have been mom and dad, basically. I'm just going to say what it is, Now, whether or not they choose to call them father, dad, whatever name we choose to give it, another human had to partake and help give life, period. And we call them both, dad, whatever, father. I call them, hey, you, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I had to learn, and I'll give you an example. My 14-year-old just graduated from 8th grade, and this man has not been around. He hasn't helped with no homework. He hasn't come in the picture. He hasn't bought no school supplies, no school clothes. He hasn't done nothing, And I made it a point to call him and say, "Hey, your daughter's supposed to graduate. If you want to go, let me know."
Mhm.
He came along, and some of y'all seen the pictures on Facebook, and he was all big smiles as if he had been there all year, and that was just a couple of weeks ago, and here we are with Father's Day this weekend. Now my dad passed away 17 years ago when my son was born, so Father's Day really is like when my dad passed away. I don't have no. This is hey, I'm good. You know what I mean? But it took a lot of prayer, a lot of forgiveness, and a lot of stepping up and being emotionally mature to allow that other human to have their day regardless of what they do or what they don't do. That's it for me. I'm throwing a flag, now.
Okay,
Ooh, that
okay.
was hard, baby. That was hard. Woo.
Yes,
Hard.
yes.
Jesus wept.
Now let me read what Angela Conley says. Only men can be fathers. Only men can be fathers, but most women now have to raise their son.
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't we all have to just raise our children, period?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is the difference though? You have to rear. I mean, and again, there are certain lessons, certain things, I don't believe one parent can do. That's just me though. Not saying a one parent, be it a mother or a father, cannot properly raise their children. Not necessarily the issue though, but just certain lessons, certain things. That's the way I look at it. Go ahead.
That's very true. But and I just, recently I just did it. You are very, very right. And then what I experienced was trying to raise a son and up into a man. I had him in different things. I put him in Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Big Brother program, martial arts, basketball. But nobody could help me with the recent issue that we just went through. So he grows his beard, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with that thing there. Like, I don't, he had. I'm trying to be because he's here, but he grows the, and I'm like, well, okay, go and buy some razors. Like, I don't know about this here. I have been taking him to get his hair cut, stuff like that, but I just had the person that I'm dating recently just met my son, and then he told me you have to go and get razors and don't use this and don't do that. So, I prayed for God to present to me people at the proper time to help me to raise my son into a man, because there are some things that you just cannot find or whatever. You just, as a woman, we just don't know. We just don't know.
And Angela Conley, then we'll get to Tamara. She said, we as women can only teach our sons how to treat others on how we have been treated. I'm going to treat that. Tamara, I'm going to treat that after you finish.
Okay. Well, I do agree that mothers are certainly not fathers. And I have to admit that the women that I hear say it, that I know personally, there's a reasoning, and it's because they feel like the fathers have not been there for the children, so they don't want to recognize that as a day that honors fathers. So anytime you have a day, that is to be, to honor whatever that day is. So most women that don't have that type of relationship, they don't want to give that. It's like they refuse to give that because you didn't father my child. You fathered, but you didn't father my child. So I think that that's why a lot of women feel like that. And then as we get older, and we see and understand why that was said, to me it's unreasonable, because I have two sons, 41 and 37, and without my ex-husband who married me when I had small children, and he helped raise them children, but even though he was their bonus father, they still had fathers, they that were active in their lives, so I guess I haven't had that experience, but I've seen it, and it's very disheartening because the kids the kids take on their mother's perspective on that, and that just it stays. So.
And right here, and it kind of ties into what Angela says. He said, we as women can only teach our sons how to treat others on how we have been treated. And now you have some, what's the best way of saying it, who hate men. You know, you had a few that didn't treat you right, and you had some skunks out there, but they kind of push that hatred on their children, and especially don't let them look like their daddy.
Oh God.
Oh, good gracious of life. Don't they'll take it out on them or try to treat, they can't lash out at the daddy so guess what? They lash out at the kids though. Yeah. So and it's really unfair right there. But again, is that an excuse to hijack that day? Why can't you? It's simple. With all, and I'm just gonna say, because we all in the same group, in groups, that there's a lot of man bashing. Okay, and we're not really talking about that tonight. A lot of man bashing. Men ain't no good. Men do this. Men quick to have sex. Men quick to eat the last cornflakes, etc., etc. Okay. It's one thing to run us in the ground and talk about us like we're, not worth 15 cents. But why you want to take away one of the few things that recognize what we do? I'm talking about the decent fellas, because you got some guys who they're not going to do what they're going to do. Okay. It's not. And right here, she said, it's important not to bash the father in front of the children. Absolutely. And it goes to both ends. Don't bash the mother of your children, and I'm kind of veering off a little bit. Years ago, about a decade ago, I was a volunteer at a local fatherhood initiative, and one of the things we were taught is that never refer to her as your baby mama. Right. Never give her that name. She is the mother of your child. So it's a big difference, A lot of respect has to come from them. And also, since, like I said, tomorrow is Father's Day, I also give y'all this. The program was about, guys who were behind on child support. And to keep them from going to jail, this was a court-ordered program for them. They had to participate. You had guys who wanted to have time with their children, but the mother of the child would not let him spend time with his child. Fights, bodily harm, and everything. He couldn't see his child. But on the flip side, you had another guy who had every, opportunity to visit his child. It was a daughter, but he wouldn't do it. Why? Because he said, well, she's a girl. What we're going to have in common. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Go to Gaddy Cole, and I know him. He was he was on the program with me. He says, I married a single mother, and believe me, it was a battle with the child. Only now that she is an adult, she recognized what I was trying to do. And, I think that's how I was growing up too. So, yeah. And Tiffany says, Tiffany Whiting, I think this is her first time on here. So glad to have you here. My mom has encouraged me to keep that door open with my dad. She has a positive attitude, so I never felt I had to choose. Okay. Angela says, how does the child process the father leaving them? father leaving them, but go take care of other children. Now, you know what? That can be hurtful right there.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That can be very hurtful. And I have to say, we as fathers have to do better in that area. You know, these are your babies. Take care of all your babies.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Andrea says, without the man, there is no child. So, if nothing else, celebrate the fact that without him, you wouldn't have the child who is a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
So what can we do? We know that only men can be fathers. Let me rephrase that. Only men who came into this world as men can be fathers. Okay. Just, leave it right there. So what can we do? Then, wait a minute. How do we deal with this in a Christian group? Because, in SBC, how do we change that mindset that, hey, since we're raising this child together, I'm entitled to both Mother's Day and Father's Day? How do we change that mindset? Anyone?
So you're saying that a woman that I'm sorry, Joe, that a woman saying that she feels that she's entitled to
There are
Mother's
some.
Day and Father's Day?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh
Well,
yes.
I think there has to be a healing and acceptance in that woman to understand.
Yes.
No, you're not the child's father. What you are, however, is a caretaker. And I do get it why they would have an issue, but that's gonna to say that that's a bitterness towards the father, and they could hold that forever, and Lord forbid the man has more children and he's being a piece of a father to the other children.
A piece.
You know what I'm saying?
A
But
piece.
I think there has to just be encouraging them to heal from that bitterness, because she's angry. She'd have been doing everything all these years. You know what I'm saying? He's probably paying a piece of child support, $2 a week or something. You know what I'm saying? So she mad. She heated.
And that's understandable. And hey, listen, it's understandable.
Yes.
That I will not, I can see that. It was a story about a couple of weeks ago. This jerk of a man, he came to pay child support, and he owed $800. Okay, so instead of writing a check or doing a cash app or $100 bills or whatever, he came there with $800 worth of pennies.
Yes, that was mean.
$800 worth of pennies, and I guess he emptied them in the driveway or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, how you gonna do your child like that? Seriously.
He was bitter too, and it was his last child support payment.
Really? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He could have did better than that, though, man.
So I'm gonna say what something I just recently experienced, and I really don't. It's kind of hard for me to elaborate and discuss this one because my kids are here. But we've been getting the stimulation checks, the stimulation money, and I get that for the kids. Now, mind you, I don't get no child support, I don't get no food stamps, I don't get no here's an extra 20, here's an extra, there's some food. I don't get none of that from him. So I did get the stimulation money, however, and it was very well spent on. My kids are very happy. You know what I'm saying? Like they, it was spent on them. And he often makes the comment to them that, well, your mom gets all the money, and I don't have any food. I don't have any money. And so I have to put forth money and food if the kids do go over there, and I can count on one hand how many times that happens a year. So he was very bitter about the fact that I get tax refunds or that I get, the stimulation money for the kids, and so he's very bitter about that right now. So we don't hardly hear from him at all. But I'll say this, and I know from my experience, I had to do a lot of healing within myself and for myself. Holding on to anger is like a person holding on to a hot piece of coal, and I'm gonna throw it at him, and I'm the one that's getting burned. So I didn't want to burn inside anymore, and I had to raise my kids with the experience of happiness and joy, and regardless of who it is, where it is, what they've done and what they haven't done. Be grateful that you are here. I don't like the label of father or dad anymore. Like I said, there's another human that is involved. What title you choose to give them, that's up to my kids, what title they choose to use. And for me, I get along with that man no matter what. Forgive them, for they know not what they've done. And that's what I've had to do, and that process of healing started with me, because he may never heal. You know what I'm saying? And he may never learn. He may never grow. He may never go through the recovery process like I did. He may not get connected with God in the name of Jesus like I did. And it's not my job to push that on him. And it's not my place to be angry with him if he chooses not to. You know what I mean? We laugh, whatever it is, when we see each other, and he going about his business and I go on about mine. And I continue to raise my children, And but it is a very, very humbling experience. But I had to get rid of the anger within myself. And when I did that, a burden was lifted off of my back, and I was able to raise my kids better. So it's the process, and I wish, because I know it's a lot of not young, but all different ages of single mothers out there. I wish you guys all the best of luck on that healing process. And I know that there's a lot of fathers out there too that's raising their kids that could be bitter. And yes. I wish you, hey, you're doing great raising those kids, man. And happy Father's Day to anybody that out there that's a father, a dad. We give it all kinds of names. We say sperm donor. Let's be real here. We've called them all kinds of names, good and bad, or whatever the case may be. There's another human that helped you create that child, and that other human deserves their day, period.
Yeah, and you know what? Their lack of doing does not negate that they are still fathers. Mm-hmm. That is the term for them. They're fathers. No matter what they don't do, can't take it away from them. And that day tomorrow is set to honor them. But they don't know that they ain't doing right. So yeah.
And it also helps the children to learn how to be a father, or it helps the children to learn how to be a parent. And be a emotionally mature parent. Am I perfect? No, because there are times when I ask my kids, you want to go to your daddy's house? And I do. I'm saying, I need a break. You're going to your daddy's house. And I'm not that perfect parent. And but bashing and different stuff, I had to heal. I really had to heal from that. And praise God, we able to do that,
Amen.
That's part of one of those things that pain is necessary and suffering is optional. Pain is necessary. It was very painful to bring that child into the world. What y'all laughing at? Y'all laughing at me?
No.
Dog barking at y'all.
Oh yeah, going to.
Let me throw my mic down and mute this bug.
He got something. What is it? A she or he? Yeah.
Whatever it is, dog. Whatever it is, Mike. This dog gonna be knocking on your door one day. I'm gonna give him to you. I'm gonna send him to you. Merry Christmas.
Okay. So
you need a kid to take care of, Mike. I'm gonna send you one.
No. So, well, folks, y'all ready for the next topic? Y'all ready? Well, folks, we have a lot of folks dating. And there was a video that's viral. And I was going to show up, and I said, you know what, nah, because it's kind of a bit violent. It's funny, but it's violent, though. Here's the scenario. Maybe some of y'all may have seen this video. a pregnant woman got into it with her male co-worker. Okay. They fussing, arguing, whatever. So she calls her boyfriend to the workplace to defend her honor. Okay. He shows up, they outside, and you know how we are. We just don't go at it like dogs. We just, you're doing that. And they up there saying, well, bro, you showed up, you might as well fight, And they just doing that. So he goes at the co-worker, and the co-worker, not once but twice, slams him on the street. Okay, we talking about pro wrestling slams. Okay, I'm talking about lift him up in there and doom, and he just gets up, and you know how dogs walk away with their tail between their legs? That's how he was looking, So the question is, to the men out there, to the ladies, to the panelists, and to everybody is, would you fight for your non-spouse? I can understand you fighting for your man or your husband or your wife, definitely. But would you fight for your boyfriend or girlfriend? Would you get into fisticuffs for them? Go ahead.
Go on, Tamara.
No. I ain't gonna fight. No, I'm not gonna fight. No. I'm trying to break nary nail. Trying to get my hair pulled. No, I'm not gonna fight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm too old to be fighting anyway.
I say that all the time. I'm too old to be tussling.
Yeah, I need to save all my breath.
So I don't know. Again, it just depends on the situation. I mean, like if he hit her, then of course, as a man, I just can't stand there and let that happen. Had to be something had to happen. Okay, Joseph, why are you looking like that?
Because I remember back in the day when I was a squibba-dub-dub and I was drunk out in San Francisco, and I done had a few problems out there in my days. So yeah, I done had a few things happen. But now at the age of 48, and I'm feeling great, but I can't fight no more, baby. I can't no. It's not in me to cause a ruckus anymore. So you talking about some individuals that are
they are dating. They're in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not engaged. They're just dating.
You talking about some individuals that need some prayer? I don't even know what to say. You talking about some individuals that need some prayer in a lot of different areas in their life, man. I just now, if somebody was to say something disrespectful to my spouse, like a woman, if it was a woman that said, and I've had that happen before too, a woman be disrespectful to my man, and I'm standing right there, and the situation is, then I come from behind him and I stand in front of him and I speak woman to woman. You know what I'm saying? Because I have had that happen. We in California, and different like restaurants or just different stuff like that. I haven't had it. Like I can count on one hand how many times this has happened within my life. But I'm not going to allow the man to speak to a woman to get a situation straight. If anything, I'm going to step in front of him and let's talk woman to woman. You're not going to be rude here, and you're going to accommodate the situation. You're going to give us a table where we dessert. And it had something to do with why this table is whatever. I don't know. It was a Caucasian lady, and I had to speak to that Caucasian lady in black girl terms. So without getting ghetto, without getting ignorant, without getting, you have to pray for God to guide your tongue in those kind of situations. But I'm in California. I've seen full-blown fights and all that kind of stuff. And I just, come on. And at my kids' school even. Come on, y'all. Let's get away from this ignorance. That's what it is to me. It's ignorant.
I understand that though. Well, I mean, I just don't know. I mean, I just wonder how the conversation went after that fight, though. After he got slammed and got whatever. Oh, you know what? And then see, I'm trying to prevent a fight in the comment section. So even when I'm online, I still have to moderate though. Good gracious of life. Man,
do.
I can't even have a peaceful 1 hour. Man. So well, I don't know what to say about that. I really don't. So with that said, I just move on from that. If that's all right with y'all. Wait, let me see what else you know say. You know what? I'll just say it right here. I don't want the audience to say that. Ladies, please, not y'all, but in the audience, you know who I'm talking to. Please calm down, okay? Please. Okay, thank you. We got company. Man, come on. Okay. Next topic. Okay, folks. As you know, ladies and in congregation, I think tomorrow is the first day of summer, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it officially?
Yes.
I didn't even know that. It is supposed to be like 108 here today or something. Oh, it's 104. It's 104 right now.
Okay. The longest day of the year, the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. It's hot. We've been waiting for this heat. We've been waiting for this sunshine and to have a good time. So here comes the summer. But also here comes the funk. Okay? Now I addressed this in the group. It's summertime. It's hot. We're making connections. And then plus, not only that though, a lot of places are opening up. A lot of places are opening up. We just, we're getting out slowly but surely out of a pandemic. So, we got to prepare ourselves. If you're going to make connections with people though, that's great though. But please prepare yourself though. It's hot outside. What you see? What's going on in here? Oh gosh almighty. Okay, and people are not using the right things though. It's hot, it's humid, it's steaming. Me and Tamara's in the South, Joe is in the West Coast. So we definitely in hot spots.
Do y'all experience funky men and women out there?
It's beyond funky.
Really?
They stink.
Oh, I'm serious.
They stink.
Wow, Mike.
I just haven't
experienced
that too much out here. I mean, not people of our, not Christians is funky. That's why I said summer is here and so is the funk in the feet. I see more nasty feet, baby, than what I smell funk.
and wait a minute. So are you saying feet is a problem in your part of the neck of the woods?
Oh my goodness. Yes. So, some women, a lot of people get their, majority of women are, so I've seen some feet, baby. They be having the claws on the toes and, they get the fake toenails on and they be long. So they be walking around like a chicken or something, hanging over the shoe. The nails be hanging over the front of the shoe. And then the heel be looking like they just got to, Yeah, I'm in California, baby. But I don't smell no funk. I don't really smell too many funky people. I even, I don't know. Sometimes even the people just don't. Is it my nose? Maybe people just ain't got no smell to them, or maybe I ain't got no smell. I don't know. But I can see some stuff though.
My thing is, people can smell. I mean, you can smell yourself before, and if you're, if you musty. So I decided, if I couldn't pronounce what was in the deodorant, I was not going to use it anymore. So I decided to go natural. When the very first time I used some natural deodorant, and it was just a natural deodorant, about 3 hours in, I went and I told my closing coordinator, Sugar, I'm gonna have to go home. I'll see you tomorrow.
You had to throw in that flag, didn't you, babe?
I was like, oh my God. I mean, it just, I guess it was, and it was hot. It was last summer, and it was like, you know what? I take Victor phone, okay? But I was like, I can't use the natural deodorant, so I'm gonna have to go back to the deodorant. And I was in my office, but it wasn't bad, but I smelled that I needed some under my underarms. Well, I did go back to using the natural deodorant, and now I'm fine. So my thing is, I'm a big girl. I put the natural deodorant everywhere. Everywhere there's a crevice, everywhere there's a roll. Because when you're not skinty, you have to be mindful.
Wait a minute now, Tamara. I understand, us economy-sized people have to do an extra effort because we got extra compartments. We have to make sure properly clean. Mm-hmm. But skinny folks get funky too.
Well, yeah, they do, but I ain't never been skinny.
Oh,
ever.
Okay.
So
Okay, I get you.
Well, different cultures have different beliefs, and I'm amongst a lot of different cultures, So you have some Middle Eastern people that don't believe in using deodorant. You have some Africans.
Right, smell bad.
You have some Africans that don't believe in using deodorant. The stronger the smell, the more stronger you're supposed to be as a man. So I cross with people every now and then. Usually people come into California, and once they within the first year of them being here, because I've had to talk to a real young guy when I was working in a restaurant, work there, and I was like, "Hey, youngster, you forget your deodorant every day." And he was from another country. Hey, you forget your deodorant every night. To start talk with you, and he ain't smelled no more. So you have to adapt to our culture here as far as using some deodorant but here it's not too often that you have the homeless people that smell like urine. You respect that. You respect that. You have
respect that.
The drunk people that smell like drunkenness. You have to me a man to me a man with too much cologne on is funky. If you are you trying to cover up?
Yeah.
Just you got on too much cologne, baby. I can't breathe.
That's cologne mixed with that cologne mixed with that funk. Oh my God, it smells horrible.
I don't. But if you do have on too much cologne, to me that's funky. Somebody that smokes cigarettes. See, that's what I'm saying. Maybe our definitions of funk is different because somebody that smokes too much cigarettes and they smell like an ashtray, that's funky. Somebody that ain't like I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't want to go there. Somebody's hair that it ain't well kept or whatever. You have.
Or they smoke cigarettes. Are
You
they
have some
smoke?
females that have the unbelievables out here, and it get wet down in there, and it get wet down, and I'm sorry, but that's funky. And
Yeah, yeah.
it's a few things. You got some men with dreads, and they want to go swimming, and I don't know if it's funky, but it looked funky. I'm sorry, Lord. Mike, you supposed to stop me. Why you didn't stop me with the cigarettes? You got some people that smoke tweeds and weeds and what is that stuff called? There's some other kind of cigarette. I forgot what it's called. Indian herb something. I don't know, but it's funky. So everybody got a dick. Let me.
Okay, she gonna keep herself closed down. Okay. Well, okay. That's all right. That's all right. We get you. Well, folks, we're gonna get to our last topic for the night. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's a relationship question. And here it go. Can or should you teach someone how to love you? Can or should you teach someone how to love you? Is it possible? You might can train somebody, and this is the best word I can come up with. You can train somebody on how to treat you, but can you teach them how to love you?
You know what, Mike? A lot of times we don't even know how to love ourselves. We don't even know how to love ourselves in a lot of situations. And I say that because me, and I'm going to use me as an example. It took me a long time and a lot of processing to learn how to love myself. Buying myself a bunch of stuff, buying myself a bunch of smell good, buying myself a bunch of, whatever it is I want, that's not loving myself. Emotional healing is loving myself. Being able to be alone in this world without another spouse, another significant other, learning how to be happy and experience the sunlight of the spirit in my life was me learning how to love myself. Me stopping to, not drinking, being clean and sober was me loving myself. Me learning how to not live in a world of gluttony was me loving myself. And until I learn how to love myself, nobody else can teach me that. You know what I'm saying? So I can teach someone how to respect me. Don't you be calling me no B word and all that. Get it out of here. Get it out of here. You teach people how to respect you. But can somebody or should somebody be able to teach? What was the question again? Got me on a roll. I should have got paid for that one, baby. Let me see. Can and should you teach someone how to love you? No, you have to. You can, in a sense, physically. You could, and that's just better to be grown. Grown. There may be an instance where you have to teach someone how to make love to you. That's a little different because and I'm not even going to elaborate on that. But yes, I would have to teach someone how to make love to me physically. And then learning to love somebody is like learning the things that I like. You know what I'm saying? What is it that I'm dating somebody right now, and he really does pay attention to the different things that I like and I discuss, and he adheres to that. So it's a teach and learn type of thing. You know what I mean? But it's not a job. It's not a job, man. It really, and it's not about teaching. It's about being observant and being receptive and receiving what it is that you observe and being thoughtful with what it is that you're gonna do with it. I don't know if I like that word, teaching someone how to love you.
I don't either. Yeah. I don't believe that a person that I can't teach you how to love me. However, what I can do is treat you the way I want to be treated because I love myself, and then maybe you will catch that. That's why I have such an issue with the book, The 5 Love Languages. Okay, because I think it's a robotic way that should just be things should be natural, where you don't have to necessarily, try to figure out what a person needs. When people say, well, you don't love me, and then you'll say, well, I don't even know how to love you. Most times that's because they don't even know how to love themselves. So when you have this book, because you do this, oh, that's my love language. Because you do that, oh, that's my love language. No, and Josette said it perfectly. When you learn to love yourself, you exude that. And so you don't have to even convey it to a person. They'll see it. So, I think love is supposed to be a natural thing. But if it's not your inner core, if it's not there, you can't teach nobody nothing. You can't teach me this new math that these kids got right now. Okay? I don't want to learn how to do it. So if you don't want to learn how to love an individual, no matter what they say, no matter what they do, it's not going to work, because it's not a natural organic thing, because you're trying to teach somebody what you need, and they may not be able to give that to you. That's my thought.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And Marie says this question is tricky and layered, in my opinion. We can express our love language in hopes it will be honored. But if everything is a lesson, it can be taxing. When there is genuine interest will garner natural results, hopefully. And you know what? And that's what it is. It's like Josette says, you can teach someone how to physically, make love to you, to satisfy you physically, though. But there are certain nuances you have to learn from each other. But just saying, teaching someone to love you, that should be a natural energy. You can't sit there and say, oh, I hope they love me after I do this. Or no, love has to be natural. It has to be very natural. Yes. And we know that. And that's a difference, though, because when we're talking about romantic, I mean, in this new age of dating, what we're dealing with right now, you have some people trying to teach each other on how to love. But then again, if it's not natural, then it's nothing you can do about it. Nothing at all.
Now, I will say this. I really love the 5 love languages. I really do. And in learning how to love myself, the tools that the 5 love languages give me helped me to identify who I was and learning how to love myself. And also, too, it helped me to identify the kind of person I was as far as trying to love somebody else. I can't buy him. And I didn't realize I was doing that until I read the 5 love languages. But that's part of who I am. That I love to give gifts. But then, so it gave me some tools, and I really like the 5 love languages. It was very helpful. But then I also, God is a God of love, and it's like, okay, when we say the word love, then I have to ask myself and ask my partner, where is God in all this? Because that's the core of love.
And see, now to your point, Josette. So, and I just seen Vig said, Jesus instructed us to love our neighbors. Well, that's a filial love. So there's a difference between the eros love and the filial love. So, we can say all day, I love a person, or I love you as a friend. But that romantic love, if I don't believe that can be taught. I don't believe you can teach love. Love is a natural thing. Babies naturally love their caretakers. So that's an innate emotion that we have. But as far as a person that you're wanting to have in your life, I don't know, and that's just my perspective. I don't think Eros love can be taught.
I, I don't think so either. I don't think so either.
Keena, come on, Keena, what she say?
Keena said I was about to. I'm not sure natural, but definitely intentional. I think there are many tools you can use to express the way you feel, but love isn't natural. Excuse me. We choose to love. And
Woo!
Yes, Latasha D. Smith says, only in love and dating do we say it has to be natural, and love comes natural. But there is a billion-dollar business that teach people how to interact with people in the world, on the job and in the business world. But we are supposed to meet a stranger, and if he or she is a potential, we hold them to a different standard, meaning we learn to get along and find ways to get along with strangers, but not put same efforts into our dating lives. Forgive me if this could have been summed up in one question. Okay. And Marie says, sometimes in our teaching, we can open the door to manipulation. Sometimes we give the game to our hearts when we should allow folks to prove their interest. And Keena, Erickson's law of human development with babies, trust versus mistrust. Babies only understand love by the way we treat them. It starts there and grows from there.
We also have to be careful of the word love versus lust. You know what I mean? Sometimes we could be thinking that we're teaching somebody how to love us, but then when I had a self-esteem issue, when I had low self-esteem, I thought I was teaching somebody how to love me, but I was teaching them how to lust me to make me feel better. If that makes sense. I was teaching them how to appreciate the way you need to tell me how I look. You need to tell me that I look good. You need to tell me that, because I had low self-esteem and I needed to hear that.
I understand that. Definitely understand that. Well, folks, this is the end of this edition of Shoot Your Shot. Thank you so much for being here.
Question. I want to know what people's summer color is gonna be. Mike, what's your summer color gonna be?
Orange. Okay. So listen. Yeah. So coming up next, y'all, is the after party. Come join us. And it'll probably be 1/2 the hour. So we'll put the link up. Come join us. And probably won't be there long tonight. Who knows? And then Tuesday Talk. And come join us for that. And then come Saturday. Next Saturday is karaoke night and spoken word. So get your spoken word ready. Get your songs ready. Get everything ready. Recipes, everything. So join us next Saturday night. And any closing thoughts, ladies? Any closing thoughts? Any recipes? Anything?
I'll say this. Summer is here, y'all, and it's gonna be hot. So don't let the heat ruin your dating season, baby. Don't go out on no date and be all, it's hot, I'm hot, it's too hot to be on it. Come on, talk to yourself, cool down.
I'm kind of with you on that. Let's
We
enjoy
gotta
it.
give ourselves self-talk and be prepared for it. You know what I mean? Like nobody
Yeah.
wants to go out with somebody that's like, "Oh, it's hot, child." Not, you know it's hot. If you say, the more you say it's hot, you adding about 5 more degrees to your body and to the situation. So have your talk to yourself and say, "Baby, it's hot. I'm gonna go on this date and I'm gonna keep it cool."
Well, like I said, hey, we've been under a pandemic. We've been in quarantine. So, hey, I don't care how hot it is. I'm ready. I'm ready to mangle, not mingle, mangle. Okay. So, and with that said, thank you all. Thank you, Josette. Thank you, Tamara, for being here. Thank you all for watching us and your continued support. Thank you so much for being here. And if nothing else, Lord willing, we'll see you next time. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.